Should the Birkin bag be in a museum? Now, I will say I'm not a fashion historian, so they would have probably a much more nuanced take on this. I think one of the challenges with museums is that private collectors often have more money. That said, a lot of private collectors buy things at auction and then will either donate it to the museum or put it in long-term loan at a museum. So we still don't know, right, like what's going to actually happen to this bag. I do think it's an incredibly important part of 20th century fashion because it transformed a lot of people's conceptions about fashion. And it was coming up when fashion was transforming from something that only some people knew about to something that became pretty ubiquitous. So I do hope that wherever it went, that it does eventually become part of a museum collection. But this is a real challenge of our society. Public collections cost money, and they often don't have as much money as private individuals. And if you see something like the Gilded Age, where people really gave a lot to institutions, that is just not true anymore. Which is interesting because I do think the Birkin bag in some way signals a kind of outsized wealth and individualism. You're going to get on the wait for a Birkin bag, you're going to get it, it makes you a somebody. And the fact that it's not in a museum is sort of interesting to me. Because like that's the end game of a lot of this, right? The private collectors get all this stuff and then they hoard it.